Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just finishing up my ginger tea with AJ Brown. We're sitting on the balcony at Moxon's.
Yes, indeed. My first time here.
It's wonderful here, isn't it?
Yes, yes, indeed.
You know, AJ, from all accounts, your new CD, Voice of Love, which has a lot of classical on it, is a classical style, is doing really well. To what do you attribute that?
Well, first of all, I have to thank my management team, who, interestingly, they are the producers of this album. Daphne Chinloy, Donna Chinloy, and Ray Chan. Those are the people who I attribute it to, in the sense that they heard me perform for an AIDS benefit in Toronto about 4 years ago, and the fact that I did a couple of classical songs in my repertoire led them to decide to make this album.
Interesting style. A lot of Jamaicans are not familiar with classical music, but you seem to have brought this to the forefront. It's playing on the radio. And what have your fans said about your classical music? What has the feedback been?
Well, they are pleasantly surprised. Most people didn't know that I had that. They knew I could sing, but they didn't know I had that knowledge of classical presentation, and it's been overall really good. Breath of fresh air. I got an interesting response from a gentleman who had an autistic son, who said that his son gravitated to the album.
Wow.
And it has inspired him to start just doing more things than he would normally do. So, you know, it's been really good response overall.
Now, you are one of what I would assume are few Jamaicans who actually perform this classical style of music. And as a pop artist, you know, reggae, R&B artist, this is a bit unusual. Your background is, you began in the hotel industry.
Yes, I did.
And from there?
I was invited to perform in Las Vegas, and that's where I excelled, you know, not only musically but also academic. In the academics, I also went to University of Nevada, Las Vegas, where I did a 4-year art degree.
Wow.
So I'm more qualified as an
artist.
but that was where I met my vocal coach.
Okay.
And she's a retired classical singer. Her name is Dorothea Giano.
Wow.
And she's from Austria. And I spent 4 years in being educated with the classical style, and now it's serving me well.
From everything I've heard, they can't seem to keep the album on the shelf.
No,
which is very strange for classical music in Jamaica.
You understand?
You have one piece on here, I'll Walk with God, which is one of my favorites and one of the ones you will be performing for us.
Yes.
And I'm really excited about that. I actually did that piece myself at my grandma's funeral, so it has a lot of meaning to me. You also have on here, You Raise Me Up. But prior to this, you had other songs that had the gospel feel. One of which was My Father, My Friend. Tell me about that song.
Well, that song, I wrote that song. It's an original, and I wrote it when I returned from Vegas, and I came back to Jamaica. Just giving thanks for, you know, being able to go through life and experience some positive things. You know, basically it's been a very good song for me, because it's one of the Jamaican classics right now.
Right, and it just goes to show what will happen when you have God in your life, you know,
real.
and you recognize Him as your Father.
Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Brown, enough said.
AJ Brown's Voice of Love is now available at www.cdbaby.com.